Hi everybody, Drew here. Sorry, have to get my clicker all set up still. Drew here, welcome to the 8th episode of the Neurotic podcast. It has been a minute. It's actually been since about September 16th, which puts me at just over 2 months, like 2.5 months. So I'm so sorry for being an absentee podcaster. It's been a really crazy time. The fall is usually the most busiest time for me, both from a work and personal standpoint. And I have so much to catch you up on. As always, I'm going to promise, like, fingers crossed, also like to cross behind my back, to keep this a short podcast. I don't think I will succeed at that. My goal is 45 minutes. Maybe I'll come in around that then, maybe a little shorter. We'll see. So, part of the reason why I have been delayed is I've wondered if I should continue doing this. When I set out to do podcasts, I wasn't really sure what my goals were. I wasn't sure if it's something I wanted to continue to do and how often I would do it. I was fast and furious there for a while. I noticed waning interest, which hurt my heart a little bit. But I really enjoy doing it, and I've run into some people out in the knitting world and just in public and through my travels who have really said such nice things about the podcast, and some people are watching it, even if it's just my friends. And so I'm going to continue. I can't make any promises about how often I'll record, but I'm going to try to make it a little bit more than every 2.5 months, because that seems like a really long time. I must mention that I'm wearing my Michigan shirt today. It is the fourth quarter right now, I think, unless we've been put out of our misery. We've had a really wonderful season. This is known as the game, not just from Michigan, Ohio State fans, but across college sports. I'm not a big sports fan, shocker, but I do follow college football, particularly Michigan football, and it's a sad showing today for us. I'm certain we will lose. I don't know by how much. It seems like maybe by a lot. So anyway, I'm going to film a podcast while that's all happening. There's so much to catch you up on. I'm going to try to keep it all relatively brief, but a couple of things that have happened since I last saw you. So travel, as I mentioned in my podcast at the beginning of the summer, I've had 10 out of town. I have scheduled 10 out of town trips between August and December. I have just 2 left. One in early December to Washington, D.C. for a business thing, and then a week to New York City, actually Long Island area, for Christmas with my in-laws. So I've successfully survived. I had some dicey moments there. I got sick midway through a blitz where I had 4 trips in 3 weeks, as one does when that's the schedule. And I had 2 West Coast trips, and it was just crazy. The travel was crazy, but all of the time in the places where I traveled was so worth it. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that today. So travel, that's been a big thing for me. And I'm really sensitive to travel. I hate it. Like I mentioned, I hate the traveling to the location. I hate the airport part. I hate the airplane part. People are monsters these days. And I'm a nice guy, and I'm saying that. Bringing 50, 60, 75 pound, I don't know what these people are packing in their luggage. If you can't carry it and you can't put it in the overhead bin without assistance, then you need to check it. Also, some people don't want to be touched by your butt when you're walking down the aisle, by your kids' grubby hands. No, don't touch me. Stay away from me. This is my dance space. That is your dance space. We need to stay in our own space. Don't touch. No. So anyway, travel. Second is work. Work is work. It's been going really well. I won't talk too much about work, but the one thing I will say is I've been thinking a lot about like my personal values at work. Those of you who know me know I'm like big into values, and it's because I believe that people need to be nice people, and being a nice person is really important to me. Like, it is at the core of what makes me me. So as it relates to work, you know, I'm always thinking about that. You know, I think in my industry, like, it's very, if you're a big talker, that gets you a lot of attention, or if you're like the super smartest with the like biggest credentials, like that gets you a lot of attention. For me, I don't really care about the attention. What I care about is, am I being a decent human to my coworkers? Am I setting the people that are like closest to me and depend upon me up for success? And I got some feedback in my, we do these like 360 reviews, some of you may do those, that was complimentary along those lines. So that made me feel heartened and good. It's been really busy, so I've been struggling a little bit because I feel like I'm not, I have so much work, like I have so much on my plate. Like I'm at like, I have probably about like 130% of work and 100% of time. So it means that I'm like a little bit slower with things, and for me that kind of erodes my confidence. But anyway, I think things are generally going well. We have performance reviews coming up this week, which always get me nervous, but I think it's going to be okay. So that's work. We had a retreat for work, which is really fun. I've been really deeply engaged in DEI work, which I've talked a lot about before, and I'm just continuing to be really passionate about that work. And we'll see where that goes. There's an important staff meeting this week, and I'm getting to lead a little portion of that session. So that'll be really great. And then finally, knitting. So I just realized, like, as I said that, I just realized I like totally forgot something so important to show you. So I'll have to reference it, and you'll have to imagine it, and then you'll have to go online and look at it. But knitting has been amazing. I've taken a couple of knitting related trips. I finished a really spectacular project, which you may have heard about. And I'll tell you a little bit about that in a minute. And I've got some great works in project. Works in progress that I'm going to show you, that I'm like so jazzed about. But like in the knitting world, for those of you who are non-knitters, like sometimes we talk about knitting mojo, or at least like people in my circle, we talk about that. And it ebbs and flows. Like sometimes you're like, oh, I hate everything I'm knitting right now. It's all so ugly. Like, why did I pick that yarn? Why did I cast it on? And then in some instances, you're like jazzed and you're just like knitting away, like loving your life. Like, this is beautiful. I've made such great choices. Like, and I'm kind of in one of those moods. Like, I'm not super productive necessarily, though I am getting things done faster than like normal. But I'm just loving what I'm working on. So that's a blessing always. Okay. Before I get into talking a little bit about my trips, most of which are knitting related, two things that are just like totally random. So I guess I just have to like put these in their own bucket that I just didn't want to forget about. And I mean like totally random. So one is, a few weeks ago, my partner Mike and I went to see the movie A Star Is Born. Guys, you have to see this movie if you have not seen it. I was a little skeptical as well. If you're sitting there like, I don't know, Drew, it was amazing. Like, I always loved Lady Gaga. I love her even more now because, of course, now she can act. But of course, like, what can she not do? Nothing. She's amazing. The music was so good. The movie was so sad. Like, so sad. Like, I'm a crier, but I'll like hold it in. I'm not gonna have like noises emitting for me when I'm crying, but I definitely like cried the whole movie. There was a woman who was like audibly like sobbing, and I was like, I don't blame you, sister, because this is sad. But it was so good. So good. And then like since the movie now, I've been obsessed with the soundtrack and like listening to all the songs, and then like getting really interested in like Lady Gaga and kind of like rediscovering her again. So good. worth seeing. So that happened. I also, just as a side, like, we haven't been to the movies in such a long time, and I forgot how much I love the after movie stuff. So like, we went to see the movie, and then like we went out to dinner afterwards, and we talked and talked and talked about like, what did you think about the movie, and like, what were your favorite parts, and like, you know, wasn't that part so sad, and just like all the conversation and fun that goes along with seeing a movie. So something simple, but something that brought me a lot of joy. So Star is Born, go see it. The other random thing is I wanted to say something about my podcast. I've said this a couple of times about my podcast, but I feel the need to say it. There's kind of like two things. One is, this is probably always going to be like a low budget ordeal. And it's not like me apologizing. It's just me like being honest. I'm not trying to be like polished, super professional, you know, cute music, cute title slide, cutaway, like different segments. Like, that's just not going to be me. It's just going to be like stream of consciousness in my messy craft studio, because this is real life. I'm like a normal person. I have time for all of the editing. I barely have time to record a podcast. I also just like unedited and unscripted and just like, you know, flying by the seat of your pants. Also, I don't know how to say this without sounding mean, but I hope I never become one of those people in the knitting community who becomes like full of themselves. I'm seeing it happening more and more, and I don't know if it's just me or it's like because knitting is becoming more popular, but there are these like personalities that are almost becoming like knitting celebrities. I mean, we've always had that, but I feel like it's at like a fever pitch now. And I just like, I'm trying to remember like, this is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be about making stuff, not just buying stuff. It's supposed to be about being friendly to one another, not like, you know, being a fangirl, like at some sort of like knitting, you know, event, like trying to find the awesome celebrity person. Those are just my thoughts. I was trying to keep it like real and remember like why knitting brings joy, and it's for connectedness, and it's for being inclusive. It's not for being exclusive or creating like cliques or like outsider stuff, which I'm seeing happening a little bit. It happened at Rhinebeck. It was really weird. Like, I saw like these like, you know, knitting celebrities with like throngs of, like, they're kind of like their posse like traveling here and there, and you know, interacting with like regular folk in different kinds of ways. And I was kind of like, I don't know how I feel about that. Anyway, rant over. On to the positive. So, 3 important trips that I want to talk about. None of them are work related, so don't tune out. They're all somewhat knitting related. The first knitting bucket list item, I went to Rhinebeck for the first time ever. So exciting. The story starts last year, like not last year, like the year before last year. Yeah, last year. November 2017, which is when I had to book my Airbnb for my October 2018 trip. True story. And at that time, I just decided like 2018 was going to be the year for Rhinebeck. Excuse me, guys. And I went for it. I booked a cabin that could accommodate 4 people. It was just me at the time. And I was like, I'm going to find some people. It's going to be all good, but I've got to like secure my spot. I'm so glad I did that. That's like the one piece of advice I'd give to anybody is just, if you're thinking about Rhinebeck, just go ahead and book it. Worst case scenario, somebody else is going to need that space. And if you wait, you're not going to have anywhere to stay. So book early. We booked the Cutest Cabin. Oh my goodness. Sorry, the iPad like started talking to me. I got a new iPad. It's a fancy one, like just like literally yesterday. So you'll have to excuse me. Sorry about that. So we got the Cutest Cabin. My friends Dawn, Sarah and Kelly from Metro Detroit decided in like February that they wanted to come and meet me. And so it was so fun. I got to pick them up from the airport in Albany. We drove up to this very cute cabin. We came in on a Thursday. The festival Saturday and Sunday. So Thursday and Friday we just kind of like caught up and hung out. We did some in-town stuff on Friday. We just like hung out and knit and went to some coffee shops, ate at some restaurants, discovered like a really cute diner in Red Hook. And then Saturday and Sunday we went to the festival and it was amazing. I wore I made a sweater for Rhinebeck and it was out of House of Alamode's I think Glitter Cloud or Glitter Storm, but her DK weight yarn in the glitter category, and Madeline Tosh DK, and it was the pattern was Guthrie by Caitlin Hunter, Boylan Knitworks, and it just turned out spectacular. And I wore it. It was chilly, like actually like quite cold on Saturday, to the point where I was like wearing the sweater and I like didn't have a coat and I should have had a coat because it was like that cold. It was really, really cold. But I got so many compliments. It was so nice. And it was like so cool to see everybody else's sweater. Like everybody was wearing sweaters. I mean, most people were wearing sweaters, not everybody. But to be amongst the knitters, people who appreciate how much time and effort goes into the stuff was so cool. And I got pulled aside by Christy Glass. Christy Glass Knits, she's another podcaster, very popular, way more popular than I'll probably ever be. And I really, I like her podcast. I particularly like, she does this segment called Manch. It's not really a segment. It's like the month of March. Christy features male knitters. It's like a bucket list item for me to be on that one day. Again, I'm not going to be knitterati probably, so that may not happen. But it was cool to be able to thank Christy for that. And also, Christy does this special podcast at Rhinebeck that's called Tell Me About Your Rhinebeck Sweater. And it's all about just profiling all of these different knitters and the Rhinebeck sweater. So that was a really big deal. And then like 10 minutes after that happened, I was just shopping through and this woman came up to me and she asked if she could take my photo in my sweater. She was so, she said it was so beautiful, and she explained that she was with a Dutch knitting magazine. And so she took my picture, and I think I'm in some Dutch knitting magazine somewhere. So that's kind of cool. And then like a week goes by. This is all about the sweater, and then I'll go back to talking about Rhinebeck. Then like a week later, a friend messages me and says, "You're on Ravelry. Like you're on the main page of Ravelry." And I'm like, "What?" So I go and I log on. So Ravelry is like the major website for knitting and crochet. It's a place, it's kind of like, some people call it like the Facebook of knitting, but it's not really the same thing as Facebook. But like you have a profile and you can like log all of your projects, and you can learn a lot about yarn and different projects, and you can see photos of finished items. So it's like a really great resource, and it's a kind of a place where knitters convene and talk as well and get to know one another. But anyway, on the front page, they have like a blog, and they write up different things, and they did a Rhinebeck recap, and my sweater was featured. There I was, like my photo, like it was actually the photo that the Dutch lady took of me in my sweater, cheesy grin, because I was so excited. Probably the best thing I ever knit, to be really honest. Like color combination, difficulty, like it fit, all of the things. So excited about that. It's like probably the closest I've ever been to being like knitting famous. So it's really exciting. I don't know, I'm such a geek. I was so excited about that. As of today, the sweater has 360 hearts, which means like people liked it. So think of like a Facebook thumbs up or a Instagram like. So 360. Wow. I think my like next closest project has like maybe 40. So that's pretty exciting. It had 40 comments, all of which were so nice. So that was the other thing. People were just like, "Great work, beautiful. Oh my gosh, it's so nice." It was just like, people are so nice. It was just overwhelming, the niceness. The project page has 7,860 views. Whoa, that's crazy. And most importantly, it helped 14 people. That's the part that I'm like super proud of. I know that's the smallest number, but like one of the my friends know this. I'm kind of like militant about keeping notes on Ravelry for each of my projects, so that way when somebody knits that project, they can look at my page and they can see all the notes that I've made. So anyway, it was so exciting, and that was the thing I forgot. I was supposed to bring that up here to show you, and I totally blew it. So next podcast, I will show you. But you can also check out my project page. My Ravelry username is DrewJacobs83, and it's my Guthrie sweater. It's my most recent finished object. Or you can check out the main page of Ravelry, because I'm there. Still, you have to scroll like a little bit now because it's been like a minute and like other things have happened. But yeah, exciting. So Rhinebeck happened. Other exciting things about Rhinebeck, I got to see so many people from far and wide that I just love, like Stephen Waters, who's an amazing sock knitter, S.O. Waters on Instagram, Caleb Richter, who's, what is his, Close to Amish, I think is his Instagram name. I got to see the Primrose folks. I ran into Plucky Knitter, so Sarah, Haley, and Michelle. I didn't actually see them at the festival, but I ran into them in the downtown Rhinebeck area. It was really cute. I actually, I was just walking down the street and I hear Drew, and Haley walks out of a shop, and I started chatting with Haley, and she's so nice. And then Sarah walks out of a shop that like sold like almost exclusively like buffalo plaid, and she's got like a bag full of buffalo plaid, including jammies for her husband. So sweet. With Michelle, and they were just the nicest. I feel like I'm forgetting like other people. I saw Josh Rubinski, who's a friend of mine. He's a great designer, Geonitrix Designs, and his partner. So yeah, oh, my friend Deb, and I saw my friend Deb and her sister, Marcia. I saw Miss Babs. I mean, like all these people that I've kind of run into across my knitting journey over the last 10 years, I saw all in one place at Rhinebeck, including my wonderful friends from Metro Detroit. So it was just like so much love. I didn't want it to end. So maybe I should show you some of my spoils from Rhinebeck. I'll try to make it really quick because I didn't go crazy, but I got some stuff. So first thing I got this really cute bag. I got this cute bag from Shelly Can. So Shelly Can is my favorite. I've said it before, I will say it again. Her pins are amazing, her designs are amazing. So she made this really cute little bag, and it's all about Rhinebeck. So cute, I love it. So I got that. I also got, my chair slipped. I also got a commemorative New York sheep and wool bag. I just thought that was really cool because it's kind of like a sheep with like a, I don't know what that is, this fleece I guess, but it kind of looks like a yin-yang symbol. So I got that, which is exciting to remember the festival. I got several pins, which I'll talk to you about in a minute because there's a separate pin segment now, and there probably will be for a while. So I got that. I got a bunch of cute little, I don't know if I can, maybe you can see those, stitch markers from Jenny the Potter. I got these other stitch markers that I had not known about before. They're from Wee Ones, and she has an Etsy shop, but they're all like this where they have like a little theme. So like this one's like little robins, and there's like a little nest, which I don't think you can see, but it has little robin's eggs in it. See? How cute. And then I got ones with like gnomes, little gnomes, and there's a mushroom. So I got those, which is exciting. Okay, onto the yarn. So I got 2 skeins of self-striping yarn from White Birch. This one is called a Pessimist Rainbow. Really pretty. I got this one, which was the Rhinebeck special one. It's called Rhinebeck Rainbow, kind of more jewel tones and autumnal in nature. So I got those guys. I went a little bit crazy at the Miss Babs booth. So get ready. I got a few skeins of Yowza. One, this one's called Reishi. Two, this one is Deep Sea Jellyfish. So good. So excited about this one. I'm excited about all of them, to be quite honest. Three, Ocean Jasper. Oh, those are Drew colors if I've ever seen them before in my life. Delicious. And then finally, a little Smurf and Turf. Get it? Smurf and Turf? Smurf, Turf? Like surf and turf? So yeah, I got too much Yowza, clearly. And the last piece, which is the craziest, as if like 4 skeins of Yowza was not crazy enough, I needed to like go 1 click crazier. So this is gonna look like a wild animal has been through it because I had to take it out and arrange all the colors. But one of the things I was really gunning for and super excited about was this 30 mini skein kit that Primrose Fiber was doing at the festival. And so that was like the thing I actually like beeline to. Like the gates open and I'm like, I'm getting one of those kits. Turns out I didn't need to be so insane about it because she had a ton of the kits and then they were there for like the whole festival and I didn't need to be so crazy about it. But anyway, it's hard to see, but contained in this package are 30 individual mini skeins, and each mini skein has about 80 yards on it. So it's 2,400 yards of fingering weight yarn, and that's a lot. That's the equivalent of like 6 fingering weight skeins. Oops, and I think I dropped one of my wrappers. I know I did, actually. Forgive me 1 second. Just want to make sure I keep everything together. Of course this would happen while I'm filming. Okay, be patient with me. There we go. So this is like one of the colors, and you can see it's just like a little mini skein. But in this bag, there's like a bazillion. Look how exciting that is. Oh my gosh. And they go in like an approximate rainbow order. So not totally like perfect rainbow, which I actually really like. It's kind of like Primrose, her take on a rainbow. So I'm going to use that to make the go-to raglan sweater by Stephen West, which is one that he's done where it's kind of fadey. And so I'm just going to do mine kind of like a fade, like, you know, hold A and B together, then B and C together, then C and D, and use all the colors that are in that kit to make that sweater. So yeah, that's on the list for 2019. So that was Rhinebeck. I feel like there's so much that I've missed about Rhinebeck, but it was just an amazing experience. I will absolutely be going in 2019. Like, I've prioritized it. I'm gonna actually probably book either today or tomorrow my cabin. I'm gonna do the same thing I did last year, which is basically just like book something and then say like, okay, I have a spot or 4 spots or whatever it is. And if people wanna come, they can come. And if not, I'll just go by myself and have a fabulous time. But it was wonderful. I would totally recommend it. Hype was worth it. Beautiful part of the country. I mean, spectacular. Amazing. And maybe more to come on Rhinebeck. I'm still kind of recovering like 6 weeks later. Okay, so the second thing that happened directly following Rhinebeck, so the weekend after Rhinebeck, my best friend, one of my best friends, Tracy Kane, got married. So congratulations, Tracy! Woo! Excited for you and Tim. So I got to go to Metro Detroit and see my friends. That's actually like when I was at like the height of sickness. So like my trip to Metro Detroit was kind of gross. It was like I got there, I was sick. So I literally like did not leave the hotel room. I like went out for rations, and then I like got myself spiffed up like enough to go to the wedding. Went to the wedding, had a great time. Saw my friends that I'd seen the week before, at Rhinebeck again at the wedding and saw all kinds of people I knew at the wedding who I loved, including this woman named Lori Henderson, who's like, she was like a second mom to me. I don't know like any other way to put it. She was like a second mom to me. Amazing. So good to see her. I'm getting like a little misty talking about it. In my life growing up, like I had a very rough childhood. My parents were absent and doing their own thing. And Lori was one of the people who saved my, like, I like think about these people as like saviors, like people who saved my life. Literally, by contributing time, by making me believe that I was like worth something in a time where like I was not getting that at all from family, and by creating safe spaces and for like inviting me to do things like they go, you know, she'd take her kids roller skating like a normal mom would, and she'd be like, hey, come with us. Or she'd take her kids up north for a weekend. She'd be like, come with us. So anyway, she's just like, there's like a handful of people, she was one of them, without whom I feel like I would be like a criminal in jail on drugs somewhere. So like it was really great to see my friend get married, and it was also so great to like connect with Lori. It made my week, and I was so happy to see my friend get married. I always want the best for her, for you, Tracy, if you're watching. I'm always thinking about you, and I'm so happy for you and Tim, and I just know you're gonna have a lifetime of happiness ahead of you. So really happy for you guys. Okay, so wedding was the second trip, and then the third was I went to Northern California with some of my friends. So my friend Cassie Monksguard, who is a knitwear designer and incredible human, had an idea to invite a handful of the plucky knitters, so people who are involved with plucky knitter, that's kind of how we know each other, at least for most of us, up to Northern California to rent a fabulous house and have like a long weekend of knitting. So we flew in on Thursday morning and we left on Sunday night. And there were like maybe 6 or 7 of us from all over the country. And it was just a grand time. Cassie came to pick me up at the airport, which was so exciting. She brought her wonderful dog, Gracie, who's like my new best friend. She's so sweet. She just, I took to her, she took to me immediately. I just wanted to like carry her around with me. So sweet. And then we were like off and running into Northern California. We saw the Golden Gate. We went to Cassie's house really quick, and then we went up to our cabin, which was in Monterey, Sonoma County, like wine country on the Russian River. Beautiful house. One of the coolest things about doing something like this is like if you get a group of people together and you go for a few days, like you can afford a bomb-ass house. So like we got a bomb-ass house, like 3 levels, like outdoor deck. I actually stayed in a cottage that was like removed from the house since I was the only boy. Really nice. We had just amazing views. Northern California is just insane. Like I visited California 2 times this past fall, and in both instances, once with San Diego and then this Northern California trip, I get it. I get why people pay to live there. It's beautiful. If I had an opportunity to go there, maybe I would go there. It is expensive, but yeah, just absolutely, absolutely gorgeous. So we did that. I'm trying to think of like, so I exposed them to RuPaul's Drag Race. That was like one thing that happened. We enjoyed delicious coffees from like across the country. Like everybody brought coffees, and we brought little trinkets and gifts for people. So that was really fun. We went to see the ocean. We went to the Armstrong State Redwoods Park and saw the big redwood trees, including, I think it's like Colonel Armstrong was the really big one. So beautiful. Just really great time all around. Really a ton of fun. So yeah, so those are my 3 trips. I wanted to talk a little bit about those. Most of those are knitting related. I've been so blessed. It's been a lot of travel, but a big chunk of that has been like knitting related travel. So I'm so thankful to be able to have the resources and the time to do that. It's also just fuel in the tank for me. You know, one of the things that's like a little hard about being in Arkansas is there's not a huge knitting community here. And so it's a good opportunity for me to reconnect to do these things. So I'm really excited about that. Okay, so next on my list was to talk about the Rhinebeck sweater, but I already talked about that. It was featured on Christy Glass, featured on Ravelry, Dutch Knitting Magazine. Crazy. Okay, so I'm actually like doing okay on time. Take note. Watch, it's gonna like go off the rails now. So current projects. So let's start with Meld. Actually, I have 4 things to talk about, 3 to share, 4 to talk about. So one of the things I'm working on actively, this is inactive. Here, sorry, I'm pointing at different things. Right here, inactive. Okay, so active. This is my Meld, and it's done with a solid color, and then you carry a gradient with it. So like one strand, so the green's gonna go throughout, and then I've got this like kind of gray gradient that's going from light at the bottom to darker towards the top. And it has this little bit of a lace detail. So easy, really fun to work on. It's all garter. It's like super squish. So like every minute I'm like knit a row, and then I'm like, so good, so good. So yeah, I'm working on that. This one is kind of like slightly in hibernation mode right now, because I've got a couple other things that are a little bit higher priority on my list. But that's one that I'm working on, Meld. It's also in my cute little Bagoo bag with grapefruits on it. Mike got that for me for my birthday, so thanks, Mike. So that was Meld. That was a Plucky Knitter designed pattern, so you can find that on Ravelry. The second one, which I'm super excited about, is from my friend Cassie, and it is called Olima. Okay, and it has a lot of ends. You don't have to do it this way. I'm kind of weird about my ends. Like, I don't like to carry up the side a lot, so I cut mine, but you could carry it. But anyway, this is a shawl. It's going to be like a big triangular shawl. And yeah, it's, I just love it. It's like, I don't know if you can tell, but it's like kind of like a silvery gray and then like a navy blue, dark navy blue. And it's just a very like simple textural, that's a weird word to say, pattern, but very easy to memorize. And the shawl is going to be giant. It's going to be like, it's going to be like 100 inches long, I think, when it's all said and done. I'm knitting this out of Plucky Knitter Scholar number 1. There's 2 scholars. This is actually my first time working with Scholar 1, and I love it. I was concerned because, I don't know, I'm just not a big fan of like super rustic, like woolly, like super woolly, like woolen spun yarns. But now I'm falling in love with it. So I'm really liking it. The pattern is Olema, O-L-E-M-A. Is that right? Yes. And you should buy the pattern because it's a great pattern. It's going to be a shawl blanket or a shanklet. No, not shanklet. That's like prison, getting shanked. Schlanket? Schlanket. Like shawl, blanket, schlanket. Not shanklet. Anyway, great one. Oh, and it's in my little shark bag. Also by Bagoo. Okay, third active project. Sorry. You guys know me and my piles of madness. Okay, this one I'm pretty jazzed about. So this is like one that's all the rage right now. It's Andrea Mowry's Night Shift. Some of you might be familiar with The Shift, which was a cowl that Andrea had out earlier this year, I believe, in sport weight. This one is the shawl version of, sorry, picking fuzzies out of my knitting project, is the shawl version of that cowl. And here it is. How awesome. I can't even tell you. First of all, okay, let me just there's 8 things I want to say about this. 1, the knitting is easy. That's a big plus. Number 2, the yarn is beautiful. The yarn is Spin Cycle Yarn's Dream State. It is not a yarn that I would normally pick. Like, I don't normally work with hand-spun yarns or yarn that looks like hand-spun. What's so unique about this yarn, I don't know if I can, I'm going to try to show you because I think this is really important. So you could see that, I want to see if I can do it. Okay. So the yarn has plies. This yarn has, I think, 3 plies. And what makes this yarn so unique is that each of the individual plies are dyed and they each change very slowly. So you wrap them together and you get kind of this weird shifting that occurs in the color. Like, you can kind of see it in this purple. Like, that purple, it's all the same yarn. Carried with kind of the yellow and the orange, but it's kind of changing from light to dark. It's so fun to work, so incredibly fun to work with. And the texture is just amazing. So I can't say enough good things about it. The only thing is good luck finding the yarn, because I had to really, really, really dig deep into my expertise of yarn hunting and gathering across the country, making phone calls and emailing people and be like, I need this color, please. And I finally got it to all work out. So anyway, Night Shift, Andrea Mowry, and the yarn is Spin Cycle Dream State, which is the worsted version of that yarn. So those are the 3 projects that I'm actively working on, and there's a 4th. So this weekend I have been swatching. I am doing a super secret test knit. I am making a sweater for a pretty popular design house. So really excited that I was selected to do that. The sweater is going to be out of Plucky Scholar. So the yarn I was using for the Alima shawl, Scholar number 1. The color is Triple Crown. I just purchased it today, so it should be coming in the mail within a week. And then I've got to finish the sweater by July, or not July, what am I talking about? July, that would be nice. January 5th. So I have a month. It's gonna be close. But I'm really excited. Super, super excited about the opportunity to test knit. That's exciting. The pattern's really fun. It'll have a little bit of cable work in it. I can't give anything else away, so I'm gonna have to try to be all discreet about it for the next few months, few weeks. I keep saying months. I'm wanting it to be due in July. It's not due in July. It's due in January. Okay, so a couple other things before closing out. So I'm gonna be a little over 45 minutes, but I'm gonna be pretty darn close. So kudos. So one other crazy knitting thing that's happening, for those of you who are following me on Instagram, this will not be news to you. I had this idea that I want to get a jean jacket, a Levi's jean jacket, circa 85. And I just want to put all kinds of patches and pins and bling and just deck it out and all of my favorite knitting and pop culture related stuff. So I went ahead and did that. So I bought the jacket. The jacket has come. I am now pin obsessed. So I have a basket full of pins. I'm not gonna share all of these with you, but I'm gonna share some of my favorite ones. So I just got this one from Shelly Can. It's the Slow Knitter pin. So it's a little sloth guy, and he's holding a cake of yarn, and it's got a little glitter on it. This is me in real life. Slow Knitter. I got this really cute one with all the little sheeps on it also from Shelly Can. This was from Rhinebeck. So fun. I got, let's see. I want to show, this one's really funny. Miss Vanjie. Miss Vanjie. Miss Vanjie. So there'll be like lots of RuPaul's pins. Miss Vanjie from RuPaul. There's so many more in here though. There's one that's, I like this one too. It says, gay for Detroit. So for those of you who don't know, I'm from Metro Detroit. Yeah, I guess I'm gay for Detroit because I love Detroit. But anyway, I'm so excited. I'm like almost to the point now where I have like all of the pins that I've ordered in. They're really like of a wide range. Like I have like a little gnome guy. But anyway, I'm gonna put them all over this jacket and I'll continue to collect them. And I'm just really excited about it. I don't know, it's like a geeky thing. I might look like a total loser, but I like pins and I put them on my project bags normally, but I want to put them on a jacket so I can wear them out, as well as continuing to put them on my bags. Like I also want to have some on a jacket. And I have this idea that I would put patches on the back and pins on the front. But we'll see where it goes. So anyway, that's happening. A couple other things. We're getting ready for Christmas. We put up all of our lights outside. So this is where our rose garden is over here. The roses are sleeping for the winter, but we put some lights out, so that's exciting. We put lights down the spiral staircase that we have in our apartment. The tree is up and it has lights on it. We still have to put our ornaments on. We've been working so much, and Mike's traveling right now for Thanksgiving, so it's just been crazy trying to get all of it done. But we'll get it done. And we have poinsettia and a wreath. So Christmas is happening. We've got our pictures scheduled for a week from today at Devil's Den. So not every year. Last year we did a Christmas card with our dogs. So cute. We did matching plaids. So the dogs had plaid bow ties and then Mike and I had matching plaid shirts. I didn't think at all about this until a week ago, and I was like, oh my god, we need to have a cute idea for Christmas. It's not going to be as cute as last year. I'm sorry. It's going to be cute. It's not going to at all be original. So Mike's going to do, Mike and I are doing sweaters, and then the dogs are going to have bow ties that are going to match the sweaters. So it's in keeping with a theme, keeping with a tradition. Next year I have a big plan. We'll see if it works out. But anyway, so excited to do that. Sending the holiday cards is one of my favorite things. It's a tradition that we've started, and Mike and I were talking it's so fun just to sit and write them. Because I do it I'm all in with it. We do the card, and I'm not just gonna write a little thanks, happy holidays, and stick it in the mail. I'm gonna take a minute and write 1 to 3 sentences to you. Dear person, thank you for X, Y, and Z. I appreciate you having, you being in my life. I think we can owe that to each other. Take 20 seconds, write a message, and send it to somebody rather than just sending it out. I mean, everybody's there. You do you. I'm not the police, but that's what I do for my cards. So I'm looking forward to that. And like I said, we're going to New York for Christmas, so we'll be there for a week. That's probably the longest we've ever gone. We go and stay with our in-laws. I negotiated a car because I can't be anywhere that long without some autonomy. It's just who I am. Maybe I'm a horrible person for requesting the car, but we normally share the family car and just kind of go as we are able. No, we're renting a car this year. I need to be able to go and get a Starbucks and decompress for a minute. And then the last thing I wanted to say is I've decided to go to Vogue Knitting Live in New York in January. It's probably frivolous for me to do that, given that I have done a ton of knitting things this fall. but I can't help myself because I had airline miles for my flight. Check. I found a really great affordable hotel. Check. And like 1,000 people that I know and love are going to be there. Check. So I'm going. And I hope to see some of you there. I'm going to probably be taking classes. I'm just about to book my classes, and I think I'm going to take at least one, maybe more, or maybe none. I don't know. I'm so wishy-washy about it right now. Like, part of me wants to do it. Part of me just wants to have fun and just go hang out. So we'll see how that all goes. Anyway, thank you all for tuning in. I hope this was an enjoyable podcast. So much to catch you up on. I feel like I was going a mile a minute, so hopefully you got something out of it. Thank you for continuing to tune in and continuing to support me. So thankful for all of you out there. Thankful for the knitting community. And I hope that our paths will cross again soon at some time in the future. Much love to you all. Bye. Oh. Every time. Every single time. Okay. Bye.